As we fade in, Oscar starts to narrate. A long, long time ago, in the beginning of the world, there were many, many gods. 4 of them were known as the Seasonal Maidens, 4 sisters who each embodied the power of a different season: spring, summer, fall, and winter. They would travel the world, constantly chasing each other. They loved to compete, and so always looked for new ways to one-up each other. And they often found the most interesting new things in the hands of the people of Remnant. Oh, these 4 sisters loved to see what people were up to. They liked people so much, they decided they wanted a piece of themselves to get to be human as well. Each sister split off a piece of their power and gave it human form, and they became what we know as the Maidens. But since these women were born out of godlike beings, they were given powers unlike normal humans. The Spring Maiden was blessed with the ability to control the elements. Nature itself bent to her whims. The Summer Maiden was a master of emotion. She could read minds, speak telepathically, and even was able to convince others to do her bidding. Fall was able to control time itself, for her, others, or anything she wanted. And Winter was given control of space. She could change size, shape, teleport, and even enter the realm beyond reality. But god powers don't die with human bodies, so when they do, their maiden powers get transferred over to the last woman in their thoughts. Men can't hold this power, it seems, and if a man is the last one in a maiden's mind, her power will transfer randomly. Ruby's voice interrupts Oscar's story. But what does this have to do with relics? Oscar continues to speak. Well, from what Ozpin knows, the relics are similar to the maidens, powerful magical artifacts made by the different gods of the world. He doesn't know why they exist, but he does know that their great powers have caused war and chaos throughout history. It's his mission to try to keep them hidden and forgotten to time. How does Ozpin know about this stuff? What's his role in all this? Oscar looks uncomfortable and stares at his shoes. Ruby stands up and places a comforting hand on his shoulder. She smiles, and he gives her a nod. Well, the 4 god sisters weren't the only ones capable of splitting off a part of their powers. From what Ozpin knows, 2 of the maidens also chose to split their powers. Long ago, one of the Fall Maidens split her power and gave it to her lover. He was gifted a piece of her time-controlling abilities. And when he died, his power also got reincarnated into a new host, just like how hers did. The lineage eventually led to Ozpin. The others are clearly shocked by this revelation. Jean sputters in confusion. You mean like Ozpin is like a god or something? Well, he's not a god, but he does carry a small amount of godlike powers. Oh my goddess, that's crazy. Neo shakes her head in disbelief. Ruby turns back to Oscar. But how come you know about this stuff? Oscar takes a deep breath before he answers. Because Ozpin chose me to be his protege. When he dies, I'll be the one his time powers will be transferred into. So, Miss Xiaolong, Bronwyn, I didn't take that weakling's name. Ozpin nods slightly and tries to smile pleasantly at her. You know, I was a teacher here when your mother and father went to school here. You do look so much like your mother. I recognized you instantly. I'm not going to tell you anything, so just shut up, old man. Ozpin sighs and shakes his head. I must admit, though, your mother had much nicer manners. Yang scoffs and turns away. I want you to know you're not in trouble. Now we both know that's not true. We see Vernal sitting across from Ozpin now. We are jumping around between the different conversations he's having with the 4 bandits. Well, maybe I should say you're not in as much trouble as you think you might be. Vernal says nothing. She's sitting straight up in her chair, her hands folded in her lap. She's stiff as a board. You look tense. Might I interest you in some tea? No, thank you. Do you want to tell me why you were destroying my office? No. I figured as much. Well, how about this? What if I offered you something in return? Vernal cocks an eyebrow. Think of it like a trade. You give me information, and I can get you something you want. Yeah, right. Like you have any idea what I would want. Mercury is sitting with his chair turned backwards. He's hunched over the back of it, resting his head on his arms. I'll be honest, son, you don't seem like the bandit type. I'm new. I joined the Blackwing tribe about a year ago. Ozpin nods and sips his tea, thinking to himself. Mercury looks down to the floor. His mangled leg was gone, and laying next to him was a crutch. You're not gonna offer me a new leg or something, are ya? No, son. My best technician is working on repairing it for you as we speak. It'll hopefully be ready for you by tomorrow. Ozpin smiles warmly. We're not monsters here, you know. Mercury shrugs. So what's this trade deal, huh? Well, I'd like to offer you a home here at Beacon. What do you mean? Nora is the only one sitting normally. I'll let you enroll here at Beacon. You and your team will become students. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to be a student. Why not? Well, I've just always been outside. The bandit tribe took me in when I was like 5 or something. I don't think being stuck inside all day would be very comfy. You've never even thought about it before? Living outside of the bandit tribe? Never, and I'm offended you'd even ask. She kicks the table in frustration. Ozpin doesn't flinch. Wouldn't you like to be around others your same age? Make new friends? Meet new people? No. I hate people. I don't like them, and they don't like me. I don't know. I do like meeting people. I'd rather be left alone. This is dumb. Raven would be furious if we agreed to stay in this stupid school. I can assure you, you will be protected. You'll be safe within these walls. Oh yeah? What's gonna keep you safe from me? Safe? Is that what you think I'm worried about? That does sound really nice. You're a little too late for when it comes to safety. I already lost my legs, dude. Ozpin sighs and leans forward, a stern expression on his face. Here's my offer. Either you tell me what you were doing in my office, and in return I'll enroll you here in Beacon, where you will be safe and can carry out your parole here under the supervision of me and my teachers. Or you stay quiet and go to jail. I'll let the 4 of you think things through together, but I'll be back in 1 hour for your answer. We cut to see the 4 of them sitting in a small holding cell together, all quietly thinking to themselves. Nora glances at Yang, then takes a deep breath. What do you think, Yang? I don't want to stay here. I hate that old man, and I hate this school. She turns sharply to face Nora, seeing a sad expression on her face. Yang's eyebrows raise and her anger wanes. Nora, what is it? The others turn to her and she squirms under their gazes. Oh, I kind of want to stay here. What? Well, it doesn't sound that bad, really. Like, I don't know, it might be fun, right? Fun? Nora, we're not on this mission to have fun. But Yang, I kind of want to meet new people, see new things. Oh, no, you don't. You think that, but I used to go to schools like this. And let me tell you, people suck. They're loud, and they're always slamming things, and it sucks. Oh, but it can't be all people. Think about it, guys. We wouldn't have to fight so much. We won't have to hunt or steal just to eat. Wouldn't it be nice to live comfortably? It is not comfort. It's weak. It's lazy. Yang leaps to her feet, holding her head in her hands. That's what Raven always talks about. The Black Wing tribe is strong because we don't choose the easy option. Nora crosses her arms and pouts. Well, that old guy, he said Raven used to go to school here. Why did she get to live in comfort, but we don't? Don't question your leader. She went through a lot. Her and her brother became students to learn how to kill huntsmen better. And besides, she didn't live in comfort. She had her whole world torn apart because of Summer Rose and Tai Xiaolong. Nora leaps up now, stomping her feet. I knew it! It isn't about Raven or the tribe. It's just because you're salty about your dad. Yang waves a hand and tries to turn away from Nora, but Nora runs around to face her still. You're mad at your dad and that sister of yours because they have a comfortable life without you and Raven. Well, that's dumb. That's Raven's baggage, not yours. When are you going to get out of her shadow and be your own person? Shut up, Nora. I'm warning you. I think we should stay. Vernal's voice was quiet, and the others turned to her. A silence fills the room. Vernal looks each of them in the eye before continuing to speak. We should stay. But Vernal, it's not about comfort, it's not about the tribe, it's none of that. If we turn down his offer, we go to jail. And you 3 might have it in your heads that we can break out of there, but I'm not so naive. Couldn't you just use your powers to break us out? And broadcast to the whole of Vale that I have those powers? It would be a huge target, not only onto us, but to the Black Wing tribe too. Yang looks down at her shoes, disappointment spreading on her face as she realizes Vernal is right. Besides, we still have our mission. He's letting us stay here. We can keep looking for information about the relic, and that'll be near impossible trapped in a cell. Mercury rubs his eyes and groans. Well, we can't exactly tell him why we broke into his office though, right? We'll have to come up with a story to tell him then. Yang sighs and stares at Vernal. Okay, so what's our story? We cut to Ozpin standing in front of the four of them in their holding cell. Raven told you to come here because she wants to find her brother. The four silently nod to Ozpin. He raises a suspicious eyebrow. And you heard I had information on Crow's whereabouts, so you broke in to find that information. Yup. Ozpin stares at them all intently for a long moment. They stare back. Finally, he sighs and reaches into his pocket and pulls out 4 scrolls. He hands each of them one, notifications of enrollment on their screens. Welcome to Beacon, Team Venom. We cut to the newly named team walking down a hallway until they reach a door and start to unlock it. Yang is staring at her scroll, and the team name, Venom. Why is Vernal the leader? Oh my god, can you just get in, please? The team shuffle into the room, their dorm room. Nora gasps with joy and instantly flops onto one of the beds. It's so soft! Yang, you have to try this, it's so amazing! Mercury hobbles over and sits next to her, grimacing at his crutch. So, I wasn't the only one who noticed Ozpin definitely didn't buy our story, right? He knows we're lying, and he knows we know he knows. Wait, what? I bet he wants to keep an eye on us, to try to figure out the truth about our break-in. We have to be on our best behavior, so we don't give him any reason to be suspicious. She places her hands on her hips and frowns at Yang, who's still staring at her scroll. That means you, hothead? Hey, don't think this team leader business means you can start barking orders at me. Vernal groans and rubs her temples. Nora perks up. We can keep a secret, right guys? The others only groan in response. Nora thinks for a moment, then leaps from the bed. Hey, it's almost noon. Let's get some lunch. I want to see what kind of food we'll be getting at this school. The others shuffle together, Yang helping to pull Mercury up with his one leg. Nora excitedly leads them down the hallway. Yang sighs heavily and trails in the rear. Just because this isn't a cell, that doesn't mean this still isn't our prison. I'm gonna hate being here. We cut to Team Posey, collapsed in their beacon beds, exhausted. We were supposed to go shopping when we arrived in Vale, not spend the whole night talking to police. Weiss sits upright in her bed and rubs her eyes. Their luggage still isn't even unpacked. What was that anyways? The more I think about it, the more I don't think they were actually assassins. Agreed, they didn't have the usual coordination I'd expect from an official assassin. Also, we were attacked with a remote explosive in Atlas. It wouldn't make sense for them to just jump at us, right? Weiss crosses her arms. The White Fang utilizes a variety of tactics. I wouldn't put it past them to decide on close combat. Well, we don't even know if the White Fang are actually the ones who attacked us. Weiss turns and stares at Ilya, who's in the bottom bunk across from her. Weiss raises an eyebrow. Ilya, do you want to talk to us about something? Ilya blushes and buries her face in her pillow. Weiss sighs, forcing herself to stand up. Ilya, you're a faunus. Cinder and Penny also sit up and turn to Weiss and Ilya from their lofted bunks. Yeah, I'm a chameleon faunus. Well, why didn't you tell us? Yeah, why would you keep something like that a secret? Ilya sits upright to better face her teammates. Her freckles light up shades of pink. Because well, you know how faunus get treated. I can pass for human, so it's just easier when people think you're not a faunus. Cinder rolls out of the bed, jumping down from the top bunk above Ilya, startling her slightly as she lands. But why hide it from us? We're your teammates. Ilya grimaces. Well, I've heard the rumors about your families. How Madame Obsidian uses illegal faunus labor for black market deals. How the Schnee family practically enslaves faunus for the dust mines? Weiss and Cinder share sad glances with each other. Ilya shrugs. At first I was just scared, but then I just didn't know how to bring it up. It's a really big thing to spring a secret like that onto people, you know? To reveal who you really are? Penny gasps quietly and stares down at her shoes, looking slightly guilty. Weiss looks around at the 3 others and sighs heavily before speaking. Well, we know about it now. If we 4 are really going to be a team and win the Vital Festival tournament, we need to be able to trust each other. And that can't happen if we're keeping secrets. Penny blinks at Weiss, taking in everything she's saying. Weiss holds out a hand to Ilya. You know what? Let's start this all over. I'm Weiss Schnee. I'm a human and the heir to the Schnee Dust Company. I know we have a lot of controversy surrounding our labor forces, but maybe with the Faunus' help, we can start making things better. Ilya smiles, her eyes and spots light up blue, and she takes Weiss's hand. I'm Ilya Amatola. I'm a Faunus and the heir to the Opal Industries dust trade. My mother and father used to work at the Schnee dust mines and made their company to combat the Schnee's labor forces. Cinder places her hand on top of the other two's. I'm Cinder Obsidian. Officially, I'm known as the adopted daughter of Madame Trinity Obsidian, but in reality, I was bought as a slave from an illegal Mistral black market. But after Madame Obsidian's daughters grew ill, she started treating me like a daughter too. Once I'm head of the Glass Unicorn, I want to put an end to the black market deals and help save any other children like me. The three turn to Penny, who looks nervous. She stares at their hands and thinks long and hard, before gently placing her hand on top of the pile. I'm Penny Polendina, and I'm the daughter of Pietro Polendina. He's the lead scientist for General Ironwood's Technology and Weaponry Division. And her voice trails off and she looks uncomfortably at her own shoes. Cinder starts to laugh. Don't worry, Penny. Not everyone can have messy family drama like the three of us. Honestly, you're super lucky, Penny, not having all this baggage like we do. Penny smiles at them, but there's a slight twinge of sadness still in her expression. Suddenly, the girls are interrupted by a low grumbling sound. Ilya places a hand on her stomach and winces. I'm starving. What do you all say about getting lunch? Yeah, let's see what Beacon thinks is acceptable food. The girls laugh as they leave their dorm. Weiss gives Penny a side-eyed glance as she holds the door open for her, but says nothing as she follows the rest of her team. We cut to Team Orange entering the cafeteria. They scan the room until they finally spot Team Boom sitting at a table nearby. They approach the team and sit down with them. Hey guys! I had fun last night. How about you all? Jean groans and rubs his eyes. Neo sticks her tongue out at Sun. Sun laughs and flicks a grape at her. She smiles and flicks it back. The two of them busy themselves with their own mini food fight. Did you guys read my text? Yes. And don't worry, we'll keep quiet about the whole thing. I want all of us to talk together about this soon, to get everything all sorted out. But we should go someplace a bit more private than Beacon. By the way, do you think Torchwick and that big guy will rat you out? Melanie shakes her head. Doubt it. Their other member, Talk, she got away. She still needs us for her mission. What is their mission? We don't know. They're all so damn secretive, it pisses me off. Next time I see her, I'm going to pry information out of her if it's the last thing I do. Milsha pulls a magazine out and starts to flip through the pages. In the meantime, we can totally start getting ready for the dance! She slides the magazine in front of Team Orange, pulling Neo's attention back from her food fight with Sun. Milsha points to a regal-looking pink ball gown. Okay, I've already started scoping out cute dresses for everyone. Neo, this would look fab on you. Ruby, I already saw some adorbs red heels with roses on them. They're a bit pricey, but I so think it would be worth it. Ruby looks instantly overwhelmed by the sudden attention, but Neo claps her hands excitedly at the pink dress Milsha is pointing out. Blake groans and leans back in her chair, rolling her eyes. Melanie side-eyes her, smiling to herself. Jean leads forward, staring at some of the dresses. Milsha notices and waves her hands. Oh, my bee, that's the women's selection. I totally have the men's selection in a different magazine. Here you go, that's all yours. She slides a magazine over to him, filled with tuxedos. Jean looks a little downcast, looking back and forth between the two magazines. His eyes linger on the words, men's and women's. As they all chatter together, Team Posey enter the cafeteria. They look around, grimacing at it all. Golly, it sure is loud here. Well, it's not that different from Atlas, I guess. Oh my gods. Calm down, princess. Ilya's right. No, look! The girls turn and their jaws drop as they see Team Venom entering the cafeteria from a different entrance. Just as they look over, Team Venom also spots Team Posey across the way. You've gotta be kidding me. The teams cross the cafeteria to approach each other. Weiss raises an accusatory finger and points at them. And what in the name of the gods are you criminals doing here? Blake perks up, alarmed slightly at the word criminal, relaxing a little once she realizes no one's referring to her. Ruby also turns around, noticing the racket, and her expression drops as she sees Yang. Vernal slaps Weiss's hand out of her face. Weiss gasps in frustration. Well, excuse you, we are students here, officially enrolled this morning. You four ought to be rotting in a cell right now. You attacked us in Ozpin's office. Assassins, I bet you're working with a white fang, huh? Blake's eyes narrow as she watches the commotion. Ruby jumps up and starts to approach the arguing teams. Everyone in the cafeteria is watching them now. We're not assassins, moron. If we wanted to kill you, you'd be 6 feet under already. Maybe we shouldn't be fighting, guys. She looks around nervously. Ilya steps forward. Then what are you? Thieves? Why else would you be hiding in Ozpin's office? Well, why were you in his office, huh? Maybe it was a good thing we were there to stop you thieves. Weiss squeals in anger. Ruby runs up to them. You aren't students. I know you're lying. Yang glares at Ruby and moves quickly. Ruby flinches, expecting a punch, but realizes Yang has whipped out her scroll, the official enrollment to Beacon glowing on it. What does that look like then, huh? Shouldn't Summer Rose keep her pet on a leash? Ruby's face turns red and she stomps a foot. She feels a hand on her shoulder and she looks to see Blake standing behind her. Why don't you keep the talk about pets and leashes to a minimum? Her voice is steely and her eyes are narrow, her ears flicking at her words. Yang scoffs at Blake. Weiss shakes her head. No way! I don't trust these four! She stares intensely at Vernal. Especially you. Vernal takes a step backward, glaring at Weiss. Yang steps in front of her. Well, I don't trust you four. After all, you're the ones who destroyed Mercury's leg. She points to Mercury's missing leg. He adjusts himself on his crutch. What kind of creep does that to someone? It was self-defense. You were trying to kill us, you great big barbarians. Hey, you looking for another fight? Because I'm not afraid of you uptight kids. Right, Nora? Yang turns. Nora isn't there. Nora? She looks around and finally spots Nora. She's several feet away, excitedly chatting with someone. Emerald. Wow, I love your hair. It's such a beautiful color. Yang's shoulders slouch in disappointment. Stop acting like a bandit. In civilized company, we don't try to fight every person we see. And who are you, exactly? I told you, stay out of my way, pipsqueak. Hey, if you mess with Ruby, you mess with me. The tensions between the four girls start to rise as all of them start arguing over top each other. Suddenly, there's a loud splat. A pie tin slides down Weiss's face, leaving her covered in pie and whipped cream, silencing the crowd. Ruby turns to look over her shoulder to where the pie came from. Neo stands on top of a table, her hand still outstretched from her throw. She looks shocked, almost like she can't believe she actually threw it. She glances at Ruby, then turns to the others in Team Boom and Orange. They all glance at each other nervously. Then Sun swiftly jumps up onto the table with her. Food fight! Walking outside is Ozpin, Glinda, and Summer Rose. Summer is holding Mercury's repaired leg. Sir, are you sure it's a good idea to let those bandits stay here? Glinda, they're not bandits. They're just kids. They need love and care. Things certainly have been hectic lately. Lionheart and Ironwood sending their teams early for the Vital Festival. My office is destroyed. But hopefully things can start calming down around here. He opens the doors to the cafeteria, and the three stand in shock at the food-based war zone. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to my $10 patrons. You're all amazing. Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Genital War Thunder, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Scaring Crows, Not All That Evil, Holly, Messiah, Jacob, Ben's Sketchbook, Rain, Trash, Wild Pilot, Josh, Twisty, Bunkin' Duncan, Hoodie Angel, Ranger, Hutmut Butt, Sean, Primaroon, Overhypin, Plague, Tyrene, Thanos, Pandemonium, Peter, Agiri, Shahid, Eden, The Eliza, Doki Poki, Moon of Blues, and Spencer. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun with episode 1 of Reversed Fates. I can't wait. I'm so excited for you to see the story. What do you think? Also, remember, you can get a poster of this big food fight picture in the description below with my merch link. It's super cool. It's a lot of detailed stuff going on. I hope you like it, and I hope you like Reversed Fates. The next episode will be out as soon as possible. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to see you all reacting to it. I hope you had a lot of fun. Things are moving. Things are happening. I can't wait to see. Leave all your comments and thoughts down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.